Southwest Detroit doesn't play around. We're going past Michigan Central Station and straight into Mexican town. Taqueras, cantinas, and family-owned kitchens that have been feeding this city for generations. So many communities have brought their cultures and traditions and made a home here in Detroit, and our Southwest neighborhood is one of the best examples of this. Traditions from Mexico, Venezuela, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, El Salvador, the list goes on. Today, I met La Jalisciense, opened by the Vargas family who has roots in Jalisco. Their father, Jose, started the business over 10 years ago. Let's see what they're serving. Hello, Chef.
Hey,
How's it going? Hi, my name is Jon.
Jose Vargas.
Nice to meet you. This place is awesome.
We're gonna make some duck enmoladas.
Enmoladas?
Yes.
Oh.
So what makes it a little different, it's that it's almost like an enchilada, but with mole.
Becomes an enmolada. I see. I guess I'm learning so much already. So what is this that makes it like mole is like your way?
I kind of made my own variation of it, where it's not sweet, it's not spicy, and it's just like a great balance in between. So the process is usually like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Depending on what you're doing now. If you're doing it with duck usually takes somewhere between 2.5 to 3 hours. So you have a 6-hour preparation time. We always try to experience and explore on different things. My whole family has always been around grocery stores.
Yeah.
Not here in Mexico. We moved here in 2013. My dad was like, well, I want to try a grocery store. One day my dad goes to pick us up in school, and he's like, hey, guess what, guys? I have a surprise. We walk into the place, we're like, what is this? He's like, just go get a drink over there. I'm like, what do you mean? We don't have to pay for it? He's like, no, we work here now. Ever since then, you know, my dad has really worked.
Yeah.
You know, their schedule was from 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. every single day until, you know, we grew up and we were able to, maybe when I was like 15, I started doing the dishwashing, then the butcher shop, then the line cook. By the time I was 18, I was like, well, let's venture on culinary school.
Yeah. Was that where you like discovered your love for cooking?
Yeah, yeah, and more because there was a need, you know. We were making food, but there was always someone that knew more than us.
Yeah.
And when that someone didn't show up, then we were in trouble. And that's when I was like, well, let's learn this. Let's learn the right way. Now that we have all of our chiles nice and fried, we're gonna take it to the blender.
It smells so good.
So I'm gonna add the garlic, the prunes. I'm gonna add some of the duck stock on it.
Yeah.
I like to do little by little, so you could get nice, really thick paste on.
Look at how that color is changing.
And the more you blend it, the more color you'll get. There is a place in
That do like the stone.
yeah, there's a lot of places that still do the stone.
Yeah, no, can't.
And that's
Could
definitely
never be me.
It's a rectangular stone. People get on their knees. They have like a cylinder, and they just grind everything by hand.
That's crazy. Well, we have a Vitamix.
Yeah. When someone cooks mole for you, it's the resemblance of love, literally.
Yeah, through effort, through time,
Exactly.
through patience, yeah.
Patience. If you cook it too fast, then you'll burn it. Just a single error in the oil, then you're gonna have a bitter mole. So Jalisco cuisine, some of the techniques are French.
Huh.
We have a mole in Jalisco that's made with guajillo, flour, and oil and butter, or oil. So they make a roux.
Like a roux? Yeah.
They make a roux. They don't know it's a roux, or they don't call it a roux. So they're making a roux for a mole, and that's basically their sauce. So when I started learning those recipes, I'm like,
You're making the connection.
between school, the French techniques, and all that. And okay, Jalisco has a lot of this. So I like to add a little more oil on the tortillas when we're making enmoladas, because it gives it like a nice crunch.
Oh yeah.
So we get to the plating part of things.
Yeah.
I'll put a nice amount of mole right in the center, and we're gonna grab our duck, fill them up, roll it. So you add a nice amount of mole on it.
What kind of cheese is that?
Queso fresco.
Queso
queso fresco. I like to add some onion right on top of it. There we go. There's some crema.
Oh my gosh.
There we go.
That's so beautiful to me. I did it.
You're hired.
Oh my gosh. This is everything. Holy crap. It's like perfectly balanced. Just only a tiny bit sweet. But then you really get everything from like the chiles and the chocolate and all the nuts in there. Yeah, you really get to appreciate everything that you put into it. And I'm glad people got to see like how it's made because it's hard. There's so much that goes into this.
Yeah.
Shut up. How much of this was your family's vision? How much of it was yours, your sisters, or?
So I feel like it's been all collectively work. That's essentially what we wanted here, you know, a place that's vibrant, that feels alive. You know, each one of those things in the murals and all of the space has it has a part of us.
Yeah,
and
like there's so much of like what you love. It's like, it's so welcoming and warm the minute you go inside. It's so much more than just like a store and a restaurant together. Like it seems like it's such a great family unit. Yeah, I saw like your sister was out here. Yeah. She was like, who turned off my music? And
that's really what it's really about, you know?
Yeah.
It's always to be expected that we'll treat you like family, and that's the goal of this, you know? Nice dishes, gourmet dishes are nice, but what I really want to replicate was when I used to go to my grandma's house and she would serve me that hot plate of food and she would give me a hug right after.
Made with love.
Yeah, and that's her goal.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
This has been amazing. This tastes amazing. I can't wait to finish this. There are 3 things that Italy and Mexico have in common. Football is a religion and not just a sport. Art lives beyond the museums and the streets and architecture. And Chef Norberto Garita's Mexican-Italian restaurant, El Barzon. What do you got? It smells amazing already.
We're going to make chile en nogada.
Oh, really?
It's a chile en nogada. So we roast the poblano pepper.
Yeah. Okay, so what exactly is chile en nogada?
Chile en nogada, well, it's roasted poblano pepper stuffed with beef, pork, fruit, apple, pear, peach, raisin, pecan, walnuts, plantain.
Beautiful.
Start doing the onions and the garlic. What we do next?
Sorry, it got hot real quick.
When it's ready,
the smell is incredible.
Yeah. Pork, beef.
Pork, beef, and you stuff the peppers with this.
Correct. Everything is cooking.
Look at that, yeah. This amazing richness and balance that you get when you like cook this kind of food.
Exactly. So this comes, you know, you just let them cook.
Yeah.
And this one comes to the point when I already have it already.
Oh, and it cooks it all down this way.
So you just gotta let them simmer. It's already cooked. So all what you see here.
So all the moisture gets cooked all down, and it goes into the meat.
Right, and then we stuff with the pepper.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see this? This is a flavor. It smells incredible.
My background is Mexican, but when I immigrated, you know.
Yeah, I understand you worked at El Posto.
Al Posto. I used to work in your city.
Yeah.
This is ready to clean. Just gotta take a towel, take the skin off.
So simple the way that just comes right out.
Looks simple, but
probably not. You make it look easy.
Can I just cut it?
Easy. I just know that tastes phenomenal.
I started from the beginning.
Yeah.
Mexican, Italian.
Yeah.
But the community, the Spanish people sometimes come and say, well, you can mix, well, you this and that. It's kind of, you know, didn't feel it. But actually, when they start discovering me, that was the same flavor from the El Posto.
Yeah.
People will start coming down.
It's going to be crispy and very airy then, right?
Yes.
And it creates such a great shell and it protects everything on the inside.
Yes.
So what made you decide to name your restaurant El Barzon?
I was a farmer when I was a little kid, so I always worked on a farm. So I never was involved in the kitchen. So El Barzon, that was the 2 bulls that I used to work on the fields, reminds me things that is El Barzon. So that's something that came to my mind. This is El Barzon.
Wow.
So that's nothing to do with the food.
The food, just the life that you had before.
Yeah, but it has to do with the food.
Well, you learned the appreciation for everything.
Yes. The sauce has to be at room temperature.
So you can't refrigerate this.
So what we do, we put a touch of cinnamon.
Cream cheese, cinnamon, condensed milk, and walnuts. Goodness. Pomegranate.
Pomegranate,
Parsley.
and that's the chile en nogada.
That is beautiful.
Right here, we don't have no taco, no burrito. It has to be a classic dish.
Yeah. Whoa.
So this is this leaf.
That smell is amazing.
This one they call asuchil. Asuchil.
Asuchil.
It's a special chili in Mexico. You go up near the rivers.
It smells like earthy, but it's still fresh. It's been in there all day.
So this one, it gives a lot of flavors to the food.
Yeah.
A lot of flavors.
Oh, I'm sure.
We put some onions, things that. But in Mexico, what we do is under the ground. We cook
This is under.
Yeah. But here,
Oh, yeah.
you can try anywhere else the barbacoa, but this is something that they say, how you make? This is some people come just for the barbacoa.
Yeah. Just gonna.
Yeah, you can help it. Yeah.
I can't not. You have to bleep me out. I'm sorry. That's f***ing great. Oh my God. It's like rich, it's earthy, but it's like not too heavy. I have a lot of words, but I don't really have any for this. This is crazy. So when would you say you knew? Did you come in here thinking no, this concept will work? Because truly, I don't think at that point in time, anybody was doing this or anything like this. So was there a point in time where oh my gosh, no, this is a thing, this is real versus was there a moment where you felt that?
I never thought it was going to make it, so it's a challenge.
Yeah, of course.
You will be the judge. When the people came and tried the pasta.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So everything here looks amazing. And also I wanted to just point out that this patio space is incredible. Is this the newest part of the restaurant?
That was the newest one.
When did you build this area?
10 years we were open. Yes.
Okay, so 2017. Wow, everything it looks really brand new. This is incredible. Opening in 2007, I'm not sure if people know, but Detroit was a very specific time in Detroit. What was it like, and what was it like building up in this community during that time?
During that time, especially for us as immigrants, and when you don't have the funds to build a restaurant, so you can struggle. You just look for small things to open and hopefully can grow up,
How many seats did you have when you first opened?
I had a 25 seats.
That's still not small.
Yeah, 25 seats. Where I started from the beginning.
What inspires you as a cook now after doing it for all of this time and being a trailblazer back then?
I don't see much different because, I think what I love is to cook, to do things, try to serve the community, try to feed the people, and try to hire people, and to be good to myself. So that's something makes me not really much different. Say, I'm the same person, but I still fall in love with that food. So that's something that makes me, happy and strong to be here.
And to a person that has never been here before, what would you like them to come here knowing? What would you like them to know before they first dined here?
When people come and try, maybe my goat or chile en nogada or mole or pasta, and they say, whoa. So, and that's all about, people come and have a good experience.
Yeah.
Because they are the people who make me to survive. They pay me and pay everybody and pay what I have. And that's something makes me very happy to serve them.
Try this.
Yeah, please. Try. I always say, customers are the judge. I can say 1,000 words, but
creamy, earthy, mushroom forward. You get the truffles in there. Cavatelli is my favorite kind of pasta because it's so chewy and stuff. So yeah, That's delicious. Do you serve both of these usually side by side?
This one is on the menu, which they can do both.
Both?
Or just can do one.
What was the thought behind serving both at the same time?
That's the background that I come from El Posto. They used to have it there. So they used to have it. It's a very popular dish that they have.
You know what? Trying them now side by side, it makes a lot of sense because you have like the creaminess and the richness, but then you have the tanginess of the tomatoes and the Italian sausage that's in there that you can they just play off of each other very, very well. I'm so glad I didn't eat anything today. So this is the poblano.
Chile nogada.
Nogada?
Chile nogada.
And it's a poblano pepper?
It's a poblano pepper.
Stuffed with apples and pine nuts and walnuts and
meat, yeah.
That sauce is incredible.
It is. It has to be a room temperature, what we do, and we use for today, and that's the sauce.
It's like, you hear about all these fruits that are in there, but it's like not really that sweet because everything is cooked down. And then the poblano, it's very vegetal. It's very, very much like a vegetable quality that mellows everything out. That's really special. So what kind of mole is this? Mole?
Poblano.
Poblano?
The poblano mole and the oaxaqueño mole that's the best moles international.
Oh yeah?
The poblano and oaxaqueño. That's if you do mole rojo, we do mole verde pipián, but it just takes 2 hours to do it. It's something simple.
Mole.
Yeah, it's not a classy dish.
Oh God, it's so good. It's rich, it's peppery, a little bit sweet, but has just the beautiful thing about mole is just it is just on the edge of bitterness. I don't think there's a dish that exists in the world that makes bitter taste as good as mole does, because it really just, because you think acrid and whatnot, and you think that it's abrasive, but it's not. It's just smooth. It's just something that you ride on. And the fact that we have 2 places in Detroit that can do it so well is really just, we're so lucky.
The mole, it's sometimes people say, people can't just about the mole too. And the Chile nogada is about seasonal, so they always call.
But you do it because it's special. Yeah,
so,
of course.
And that's something that as a Mexican does 3 dishes, this is something classic dishes that, it just could take you to another place.
Yeah. Something to be truly
it's totally
proud
different.
of.
It's totally different.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank
no
you.
problem. Please, my pleasure.
In Southwest Detroit, it's much deeper than just the food. It's about the personal stories and generational traditions that go beyond borders. You won't find a community like this in many other places, so when you visit Detroit, come to Southwest.